wanted to make the video of this Lego set, this huge monster Lego set that I have. This is one of the three, I guess you could call them throwback or remakes or homage Lego sets that are based on the original 1970s, 1980s Lego space. One of them that I have is the Galaxy Explorer. I have the new one. I used to have the smaller older one. I don't have it anymore, unfortunately. In fact, I have very few of my original Legos. This one, I believe this is called the Cruiser, but it's supposed to be a remake of the original, and this has got a stand on it, the Invader. And I used to love this when I was a kid. I just thought it was so great, the modularity and all the stuff that you can do with it. It's just the playability of it is great. I'm going to do a video on these two later because I need to redo the connections before this one. I'm going to break it open so you can see, because this was done I think a year ago or so. I have to redo these connectors in here so that they're compatible with this set. So that's going to be a little project, and that'll be part of this video, and I'll show how this guy can interact with this guy. You could still connect this one with this one. They're semi interoperable, but I want to make it completely interoperable. So that these two are going to be on a video of their own. So let's put these aside. Let's concentrate on this guy. Oh, but yeah, this is originally the Cruiser, I think, and it was originally called the Invader. Quite a sleek ship, if you will. So let's talk about this guy. This is the Renegade. I never had the original Renegade, and you know what? I'm thinking about getting it because I just think it's so cool. I just believe that it is neat. I liked how it is asymmetrical. It doesn't follow the standard way that it looks, a little chaotic. The original Invader, which I'll show a picture here of the original Invader, it just looks really, really neat. And the idea is that you can take these pieces apart and rework them in different ways. In a lot of ways, this isn't as modular, but it is a superior build, and it's a great throwback. I always thought Blacktron was really cool because they were the bad guys. The thing about Lego is you never really had kind of a narrative, and you never really had well, I guess everybody was a good guy, or everybody worked together. You never had bad guys, for example. So this as close as bad guys that you got, but even they were really, really, really cool. This is quite massive. Blacktron always had a symbol with these three almost like Triforce logos, if you will, but it was the black and yellow scheme that was just really, really neat. Let's see if I can tilt this up so give you a good idea of the way it looks. I mean, how slick is that? How neat is that? And it's got retractable landing gear, and I'm going to retract all the landing gear up so you can see how it works. And I'm going to do it for a reason also, because there's a feature in here and I'll show you the bottom of it. There's a feature in here that you can definitely work with. I actually like the yellow. Some people said that they don't like the yellow. And here's the landing gear bays, which kind of just retract in there. I just think it's neat. I really, really do. But anyway, let's turn this over. Some of the features, lots of playability. Even though I'm older now, I still like to, use my imagination and think back when I was a kid, when I didn't have a mortgage and didn't have tuition to pay, and you could just play on the stairs or play with your friends with Lego sets. So the front part of it which is, and this is the key thing about Blacktron, is you can disconnect the different pieces. And here's the connection set, which like I said, I'm going to convert with this one. I'm going to make it's similar to this. I'm going to make it totally interoperable, but you get this front part disconnects and the wings kind of spool out, and you get the nice big modern cockpit compared to the older one. I'll show you the picture of the older one, but then you get the little sinister Blacktron outfits in here, which are pretty neat. I always like them, but I like keeping the visors down. These are nice. These are prints. These are basically not stickers. I don't there are no stickers on this set. There are stickers on this set, but there are no stickers on this set. Everything is a print. All right, and there's you can tell on the inside you get in fact, let me pull him out. You get his computer panels in here, and you get your little steerage yokes, if you will. So let's put him in here. I'll leave it open here so you can see their faces. All the figures do not have a dual print, meaning they used to, a lot of the modern people, where you could take the head, reverse it, and it would have a different print on the back side. But just like the original Lego Spacemen, you don't get a dual print. It's just a single face, which is fine. This is made to be throwback to the original simpler time, if you will. So this closes up. I like the yellow. I wish the wings were a little bigger. This might be something that I'm gonna modify, if you will, make these a little larger. Again, kind of like these wings here that spool out. But they're fine, and I kind of like, you pull these in, little details, like I guess these could be cannons, if you will, but that's neat. Some people don't like this. I saw online the nose cone. It's really just a flap, right? And then you have like kind of like headlights, or maybe you could call it like radar. And then you have your cannon, if you will, maybe a sensor or a sensor spike, depending on what you want to do with the system. But I love how they did with the rounded bits on the bottom. Oh, dog hair. With the rounded bits on the bottom, just to make it look pretty cool. I just think it's really neat. Let me turn the light on here for you guys. Make it a little lighter. How's that? A little brighter. So that's pretty cool. So let's just put that aside. A lot of playability there. This front part comes off, and I like to pretend that this is like a kind of a sensor package, if you will, an extended sensor package. It kind of looks like that to me, if you will, and you can connect it later on, or you can connect it to different parts, and I guess you go, or you leave it in orbit or whatever, and you can see the connections here. Let's see if we can get it a little closer. I don't know if I could. They go together and they cinch in. There you go. Little details like the lights in the back. Let me pull that off. Look at that, facing backwards. Like no one really is going to see that unless you pull it out and you look at it, and you even look at it from the side. You know, here it is right here. I kind of like the detailing of the build here, where you got this these large, really large pieces here, which is like a scaffold piece that they just rotate on the side with the black, and then you have another large piece like this, which is like another kind of scaffold piece, but they put it in as a part of a front part of a wing, if you will. Here on the you have two different. I like to think that they're drones, and they pop out here. They really just attach to these two little pegs. Let's see if I can get you in a little closer. All right, they attach these two little pegs over here with the little Blacktron. I like to call it the Triforce logo, but they're Blacktron logos. And what you could do is these little wings can bend up or bend down. I like to think they're drones. But you could flip these up, and you could actually stand someone in there. In fact, let's try it. So I guess in a pinch, if you need to transport somebody somewhere, they can jump right on there. You know, you can take off and you can transport somebody in an emergency. But for most of the time, flip these up, they're drones to me. I kind of make this flat and just angle the wings down a little bit, and it just lands right here, where I guess it could, you know, recharge whatever your imagination, whatever you could think of. Little control panels here, so people can stand here and do work. I like it. A lot of things that they always kind of forget is in Lego is how the engines would work. Here, I mean, you can tell this thing is fast. I mean, this is basically from here to here. This whole thing is engine, or at least infrastructure for the spaceship all the way back. In fact, here I like to think they just sit in here. They're basically warp cores, if you will, or power modules or batteries, whatever, but some kind of energy device. And they just flip right in here. They only attach right here to a peg, so they're easy to pull in and out. Maybe a little bit too easy. Haven't had a problem. Well, then again, I really don't fly these things around the house like I used to when I was a kid. But I could see these things coming out if you're a little bit too aggressive, or if the kids are a little bit too aggressive, right? Now, like I said, with the modules in the front, you have these rear modules. Oh, that's tight. They come out. For example, I keep hitting my mouse. And I keep seeing the dog hair right here, but they got the same attachment. So basically, you could take this, attach it here, and now you get something like, could be wicked fast, you know. Or I like to use the term in Star Wars. They could be faster than light capable now with this, so that this guy can actually warp somewhere, if you will, with a warp engine. Whereas if you don't have this in the back, this can only go around in sublight speed, or in orbit, or down in the atmosphere. And then this, if you really wanted to, you could attach this here with the sensor pod or weapons pod or whatever, and then they attach, and you can leave this in orbit. This can be a satellite, if you will, just floating around. And but now you got a nice big engine that can actually go somewhere on their remote control. So let me put these back. Not a lot of, other than what I showed you, stuff to do here. Not a lot of panels. Galaxy Explorer, the new one, again, picture here, has a lot of nooks and crannies and places where you can actually people can do stuff inside. Not so much with this, but maybe that's just not the function of Blacktron. They're really they're kind of get in, get out, be aggressive, and not a lot for accoutrements and aesthetics, for example, and comfort. If you look at the front of this, you kind of got like a headlights, if you will, or they look like headlights to me, but I guess they could be sensors too. They could even be guns if you really wanted it to be. But the real cool thing about this, and you might see this thing in the center here, is they have a really cool mechanism here for holding this, which is a rover, if you will. And if you rotate this, you see how this rotates back and forth, right? And it has little clasps here that actuate in and out, just enough to hold this rover in place. So if I put it down like this and I rotate it, and I don't know if you can see this rotate here, they rotate open. Oh, can I get it out? Why won't you pop out? There it is. It's just a little snug. You rotate that out, you can see these, how they're rotating out just enough to pop it out. And this can now take off, right? So now the ship can, I guess, go away, go in orbit, whatever, do whatever they need to do, right? And what you're left with is this rover. You can have a guy here. He's got a control panel wheel, for example, so he could do surface stuff. In the back here, you have a throwback. If I can get this guy out without popping him off his legs. Oh, nope, not so much. But you have a little droid here, little robot droid, which he could be out here in the back doing analysis or whatever he needs to do. And then you have your tools or weapons, or either one. It's quite a robust little vehicle. Let me take the guy out just so you can see it a little bit better. Quite a robust little vehicle. You can put a guy back here. You can put cargo back here if you need to. I like to think of it as this is used for like a raid. If you're going somewhere, they are Blacktron, so I assume they're up to no good. So that's pretty neat. Put them back. Kind of open here on the sides. Kind of have to do suspension of disbelief and just pretend that they're closed. Not much you can really do to build that up without sacrificing the internal space. So, pretty neat. Open this little face there. So that's cool. And if you need to pick him up, you can come up and then fly right above him. Push him straight down, just so these little grate parts are in these little slots here. This is basically where it grabs it. It grabs it right here, where the yellow grids are. Just kind of fly it right here. You can pretend it goes in, and you'll hear it click. There you go. Actually, I did it already. Let me do it one more time. There you go. Drops down, and you'll hear it. It's dog hair again. I have 4 dogs, so. Dog hair everywhere most of the time. Just they slot in, and you'll hear it click or feel it click, and then you can pick it up, and there you go. Just kind of slots right in there. Now you can't really do that though with the landing gear down. And I'm going to put the landing gear down. 2 go backwards and 2 go forwards. It's a little finicky getting him out. But they are handsome landing gears. So you can see how they're out. Kind of gives a nice realistic and access to the bottom. You can have guys working on here or doing work, etc., so forth. So close this up. Dock it back. Yep, it would help if I could see it behind the camera. Why can't I see this? There it goes. There you go. It's my fault, not the Lego's fault. They are the feet, the landing gear, if you will. Not feet, landing gear. So, pretty neat set. I think it looks pretty attractive. I think it's pretty nifty. Now I have even larger desire to get the original and have it side by side. And again, number 2, we'll be comparing. In fact, I'm going to take this off the stand. I basically have stands for these two, so they can look sleek on the table. I'm going to be comparing these 2 systems. They're different. I'll give you a quick little preview. This is not exactly the same. Connecting and disconnecting. They're similar, but I have to mirror what's on the other side so I can make it interoperable. That front comes off. This opens up a little differently. I should show you the old one, but you can see how it opens up here. It's got a little guy inside with a safe and tools inside. Whoop, that was me. Again, fooling around with it before. I closes up, and then the rear basically comes off, just like the old one. I'll show you the original one. And even back here, this could be like the propulsion module or the engineering section, if you will, and this back part then comes off also, which is pretty neat. I guess this could be a drone if you really wanted to pretend. It just clicks on. Again, I'm going to make this completely interoperable with the other systems, so you can combine them, you know, all the modules together. Now this is the original one. This is kind of like a bonus footage here. You only have one guy in the front, but this is articulated, so you can swing that up and you could put either people or treasure, booty, whatever you took, for example, or stole, or even a person or a droid back there. Pretty cool. Plain a little bit in the front. Again, when you're a kid, it wasn't a big deal, but it was enough. And this whole thing swings down. Little attention to detail. You got the red here, which is neat. Again, the Blacktron logo at the front. This could be guns. These can open up while everything is attached. And then this swings up, and you have a droid with tools basically inside here. And it closes, and then the back again, just like the this one, you get the propulsion module. Remember, this is 30 years older, this design, and this comes off, and they fly around or stay in orbit or whatever. This can land. You can put this on the ground, and it could stay somewhere, you know, doing a mission or whatever, and this guy can swing out and fly in and do stuff. Or just like with the Renegade, the bigger ship, you combine it like that, and now you got a small but faster than light capable ship, or at least that's the way I like to pretend, even though I'm much older. Still very nostalgic, right? Anyway, and you can tell the way these are put together, they're very limited because it's just Technic pegs and holes. Quite elegant, but also kind of limited what you can do. The new system is far superior than the old system. So that wasn't about that. It was supposed to be about this guy. And again, I'll show you. It's basically a mirror of the two on both sides, so it's totally, you could put anything anywhere. I could put this here, I could put that there, I could put this in the back if I want, I could put an engine in the front. I guess imagination is completely up to you. Well, I kind of hope you liked the review, and my opinion, I like it. I think it's attractive. I do some modification. I kind of make this section over here maybe a little bit more expandable, a little bit more interesting. It is interesting. I like to think how I explain it is this is here for propulsion, and this is really here, and this exists really just to go and go fast. And with a lot of power. It's the sports car, or it's the utility vehicle that goes really, really fast. The Porsche Cayenne of space vehicles. Whereas the Explorer would be more of the Yukon, or what is the GM version, the Tahoe of vehicles. Very comfortable inside, and spacious, but maybe not so fast or sleek. Whereas this guy is just very go fast, get there quick, and and take off real quick. And in fact, one person actually suggested this module in the front, for example, as well as this module in the back. This could be cloaking. This could be for cloaking, for example. So yeah, that's a different way to explain it. You know, I could probably come up with a whole dozens and dozens of things that you can do with this if I was a kid. So subscribe, like. We'll revisit this again when I remodify this to be interacting with this. In fact, I'll leave you with this. If I could take this, I think I saw this and I've yet to try this, so this is live. Yeah, it definitely fits. There you go, I can connect it. There you go. Now you got the Blacktron here, and in fact I could probably take this middle part and put it up here if I want. So that's pretty cool. You do a lot. You could do a lot. All right. Well, thank you very much. Like and subscribe. And if you like it, if enough people like them, I'll do more of these. I certainly have plenty sets, different sets, space sets, train sets. I have town sets. I certainly have a lot of Star Wars sets that we can go through. Thank you very much.